Hi, welcome to Nature's CSI, Creepy Stories of Invasion. I'm Dr. Tom Stohlgren. This is episode 5, Africanized honeybees and other unintended consequences. Thousands of years ago, we had 4,000 species of native bees in North America. They were living quite happily, but none of them were honeybees. When we brought in honeybees, 4 native bumblebee species have declined up to 96% in the past 20 years due to an infection from an alien pathogen, which was spread by the alien honeybees. We like honey. We came over as pilgrims with bees, European bees, to make honey. This was a good thing. We were used to it. We loved honey. Honey production became a very big business in the United States. Almost every state is involved. But it's more than just honey. Those European honeybees are valuable agricultural pollinators. So they pollinate soybeans, alfalfa, cotton, almonds, apples, oranges, peaches, cherries, grapefruit, tangerines, everything. We need those European honeybees to eat the things we like to eat. But those European honeybees are also primary pollinators of weeds. They're from Europe and Asia too. They've seen them before. They compete with native bees for food and pollen, and they can spread invasive parasites and diseases to the native bees. We're obliged to monitor and protect our native bees and prevent these unintended consequences. Now, for 400 years, the European bee was the only honeybee we had. But recently, in 1992, we got the escaped Africanized honeybee. Ooh, this was a major unintended consequence. A scientist in Brazil thought he could mate an African bee with a European bee and get a perfect pollinator for tropical crops. But it escaped, and it took 50 years, but it made it to the United States. And the swarms of these angry bees were in several movies. And sure, 100,000 bees attacked 2 men in Florida, but they survived in March 2013. In June 2013, in Moody, Texas, a 62-year-old man was attacked and killed by 30,000 killer bees and 3,000 stings, and yes, he died. In July, a month later, in Texas, a couple was attacked by another group of 30,000 killer bees. The bees killed 2 horses and 5 hens, but the couple survived. And just last month in Palm Desert, a 71-year-old woman was attacked by 80,000 killer bees. She had 1,000 bee stings, but somehow survived. And in nearby La Cañada in that same month, 2 women were stung by bees. Rescue workers sprayed one with a fire extinguisher, and the other jumped in a swimming pool, but both survived. Maybe we ought to stop calling them killer bees if so many people survive. What do you do if you're attacked? Don't just lie there. They'll find you. Don't swat at them. That just makes them angry. And don't jump in a swimming pool or a pond. They'll just wait for you to come up and they'll attack your head. The real thing to do is to run fast for 100 yards, covering your head with your shirt. You can outrun these bees. After 100 yards, get indoors and knock off the stingers with a credit card or ruler. Just swipe them against your skin. Then wash with soap and water. Go to a hospital if you're allergic to bees or if you've been stung more than 30 times. A recent graduate student of mine, Dr. Catherine Jarnovich, teamed up with NASA scientists and a group from Colorado State University and modeled the spread of these Africanized honeybees. And our team found out that they are definitely moving north. They're not done moving yet into new areas. But we have other things to worry about. There's colony collapse disorder. All of those European bees, which a lot of our crops depend on, are suffering throughout the United States. Whole hives are dying. In fact, there's been a 33% loss in those honeybee hives in the United States due to colony collapse disorder. This is a big deal. And there are multiple causes of colony collapse disorder. They've mentioned pesticide poisoning, habitat loss and fragmentation, and long-distance trucking for pollination services. This adds stress to the bees. But 3 organisms have escaped from Asia and the Middle East, made it into the United States, and are attacking those honeybees, including a gut parasite, the varroa mite native to Asia, and an Israeli acute paralysis virus native to the Middle East. These 3 organisms snuck into the US and they're attacking these honeybees. But those same honeybee pathogens are spreading to our native bees as well. They're finding them in more and more populations, and that's dangerous. What are we going to do? We're going to have to be careful of unintended consequences. Let's carefully monitor native and those alien bees to make sure we have the pollination and services we need. But let's prevent and contain alien pests and diseases from both the honeybees spread to native bees. And let's minimize pesticide use, especially for those non-target organisms. Let's plant native species around our homes in hopes of helping those declining native bee populations. And let's research all potential threats to bees, new invaders from trade, genetically modified organisms, habitat loss, climate change, and whatever else may threaten our bees. Remember those 4,000 species of native bees in North America? I really like them. I want to protect them. I want to be proactive. Hey, thanks for joining us on Nature's CSI, Creepy Stories of Invasion. Let's prevent those unintended consequences. If you have an idea for a show, shoot me an email, check out our websites, and in the meantime, get out there and save the world. Thanks.